Back here on MLB Now, and there on Twitter for Sarah Lang, Slangs on Sports, or Sarah Lang's on Sports. There's the T-shirt. That's the expression she loves. Baseball is the best. And also End ALS in the middle of that. And the proceeds going to Project ALS. Here's RotoWare putting in that the total amount now that they've donated because of that T-shirt, over $116,000 to fight ALS. Sarah Langs is with us all the time here on MLB Now. Sarah, good to see you. The T-shirt is going gangbusters, I see.
Thanks so much for having me. I know it's crazy. I could not believe that number when RotoWare shared it yesterday. I mean, thank you so much to everybody who has bought a shirt. I mean, it is still hard for me to believe that anyone who doesn't know me personally went out and bought this shirt, but based on that number, clearly they did.
It's getting out there, and people can find it again. You can find it on Twitter right there, and baseball is the best, and ALS. All right, Sarah, give me, I know you got plenty. You were working hard yesterday. Give me something on Shohei Ohtani. It has to be one of the more remarkable days in the history of baseball.
Oh, my goodness. You know, you look at yesterday, you see 5 games still, and you're like, okay, I wonder what will happen. And these are the days where the incredible happen. So Shohei Ohtani comes out in the first game of the doubleheader, throws a 1-hit shutout. And then the second game, hits 2 home runs. He is the first guy in the history of baseball to throw a shutout in one game of a doubleheader and have a home run. 1 home run, not even 2, in the second game of a doubleheader. And if we take away that doubleheader part, you can see he's one of 5 guys to have a shutout and 2 homers on the same day. Again, everyone else on this list obviously did it in one game. Rick Wise stands out. He had a no-hitter and 2 home runs. But nobody has done what Shohei Ohtani has now done with a shutout in one game and a homer in the other. Just absolutely incredible. And I was already on cloud 9 researching him when he did the first thing with the shutout.
Right.
Because he had the most home runs of anybody in the history of baseball to have at least 1 shutout in a single season. The next most for anyone in the season where they had a shutout was 11 by Babe Ruth in 1918. The man has 38 home runs. It's incredible.
Yeah, right. Just rewriting things completely. Let's get to some other stuff here. We're fans of Patrick Bailey, by the way. We show very good fundamentally, very good baseball-y as he makes our baseball-y plays. A young catcher for the Giants. I know you found some specific things. Tell us about Patrick Bailey.
Absolutely. I mean, his defense really stands out. If you look at pop time, which is how quick these guys are, throwing down 2 second base on stolen base attempts, he is second in the majors right now behind only JT Realmuto. And we know from all of our years with our top 10 catchers, this is what Realmuto is the king of. So for Bailey to even be second on that list as a rookie is so impressive. And he's really changed the game for the Giants, really given them that kind of Buster Posey injection of solidity behind the plate and everything else. And if you look at framing as well, he's also leading the majors there. If we look at strike rate on shadow zone pitches, which is basically your borderline pitches.
Right.
He is getting strikes on those takes more than anyone in the majors. And again, this has changed the game for them. You know, Buster Posey used to do a thing where he would walk away even before the umpire would make the call. We need Patrick Bailey to get there. But I was sitting here looking at the leaderboard and wondering where he's going to be on both of our lists in January this year.
That's going to be my favorite highlight of the show, by the way. Even with all the other histories, just boom. Boom.
Yes.
I love that. That is a skill, though. And you can see as you're watching Bailey how quick his exchange is. You can tell he's done that thousands of times. All right. Orioles are on a streak. I didn't realize this until you pointed it out to me. Give us the streak that the Orioles are on right now.
So it's really cool, and they've gone 72 straight series of at least 2 games without being swept. And we know baseball people will tell you enter a streak, and you enter a series, and you just don't want to sweep it specifically. You want to win the series. That's what teams think about. But even not being swept is definitely something to hang your hat on. And this streak, we're talking about young catchers. This goes back to when they called up Adley Rutschman last year. They've not been swept in the Adley era. If you want to say that, and as you saw on the list, is tied for the 5th longest streak in the history of baseball. And if they're able to not get swept this weekend, big series against the Yankees, they would have 5th all-time by themselves. And as you saw, the last time anyone did this in more than 72 straight series was a long, long time ago.
Yeah, that's amazing in that, like, we know they're good, but the teams at the top of that list, like, not all that far away, that's Stan Musial and the Cardinals, and that's Christy Mathewson and the Giants, like in the early aughts. So those are some of the better teams, that we've seen in the history of the sport. Great stuff. Sarah, always great having you on the show. Thank you so much, and we'll see you again soon.
Thanks so much for having me, BK.